to Inside Boxing's Throwdown. My name is Steve Johnson. I co-host Aurelio Martinez. We're going to start off the first of our three segments today with All the Talk, which was last night here in Brisbane, Australia, where we had Jeff Horn taking on Manny Pacquiao. A fight that most of us figured was going to be over pretty quickly. You know, Bob Arum made it pretty plain that in order for Pacquiao to keep his pursuit of a possible rematch with Floyd Mayweather Jr., that he was going to have to win in impressive fashion by knockout. That's what Bob Arum said. First of all, there was no knockout. Second of all, no impressive at all from Manny Pacquiao. Third, Jeff Horn got the little bit of that home cooking from the folks in Brisbane, Australia. But you know what, Aurelio, I'm going to start off this by, let me say this. For us boxing fans, for us folks who follow boxing, this was not a real shocking decision if you watch the fight. As the fight progressed, I could see where this was going, you know. Once again, we have, and I don't mind saying this, let me say this, right, and you can go and do this. Stephen Screamin' A. Smith, I challenge you to come to Denver, Colorado, come with me to my barbershop in the old hood, and do some of your bullying stuff that you do on ESPN, and watch you get smacked in your face, or either, you know, he'll shut you down. Because, you know, I'm really sick of him, Aurelio, and he bullies everybody at ESPN. You know, well, he bullied Tim Bradley last night.
Well, because he knows how to do it, and he's experienced in the journalistic part of it to be able to do that. I mean, he does his homework, because he's not a basketball guy. I mean, I'm sorry, boxing guy. But he does his homework. And he knows what he's saying when he says it. I mean, he's not going to get on. He's not going to get on screen and say, "Okay, well, we may have a close fight here, close decision, because after all, we are in Argentina."
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
I mean, that's
Tim Bradley was
Bradley.
really sick.
So them Argentinians, you know, they don't get fair decisions. But anyway. Smith does what he does, and
so you're a fan of his.
Oh, no, but I'm saying he has his fan base. People like that controversy.
Yeah, because he's bullying. He tries to bully folks there on the air, and them folks have always put up for so long.
He is bullied,
you know, and he bullied Tim Bradley. But I tell you what, I saw one time where Tim Bradley looked like he was this close to saying "F you, Stephen Smith."
He might have been,
you know, because he was needling him. But anyway,
and that's what he does. He digs.
Well, like I said, I challenge you to bring your ass to Denver, and I'll take you to my barbershop. You won't shout anybody down there. As a matter of fact, you'll be right there where you get shouted down. But move on from Stephen A. Smith. One of my disappointments about the fight, about ESPN period radio, is that this fight, for some reason, ESPN has decided that they're going to make Stephen A. Smith the face of their boxing coverage. Man, I can tell you last night, I really miss Brian Kinney. You know, somebody who follows boxing, who knows boxing, who can commentate on the sport. Teddy Atlas, last night, ESPN allows him to bring his boxer, you know, Timothy Bradley Jr. on there. Okay, and between the two of them, we know what...
But they're firemen.
Well,
they're firemen.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And in the case of Tim Bradley, dry as the Arizona desert. I mean, he piped in a few times with stuff that was after the fact that anybody could see. But as far as...
Okay, let's get to the fight. Well, the commentating is one issue.
Well, the commentating is what spurs the whole problem. You know, when people are out on social media and they were saying, this is what's bad for boxing, boxing's done. First of all, those of us who follow boxing, we've known that there's been this issue forever. Second of all, let's be honest about this. That trio of judges was approved by both camps. If Manny Pacquiao and Bob Arum, if they, you know, approve these folks, obviously not having a concrete background in championship fights, okay, you got to put some of the onus on them. Okay, but
okay. Well, let's talk about the fight, because we done killed half of this segment talking about.
Well, we're gonna go to the next
segment.
Okay? No, it's not baloney. It's part of what the problem with boxing.
Because I watch the fights just like everybody else there, but the commentating don't bother me, whether it's good or bad. I learn how to block it out.
Listen to it?
And I don't. I watch the fight. I don't. I don't let it bother me. I really don't. I don't let it bother me. It tickles me. It tickles me when someone's on there and they say Argentina, when it's in Australia, things like that. But that tickles me. The fight itself is the subject of my attention, and I think this fight here was just the outcome. The fight was actually good. The fight was actually good because the referee allowed Horn to do whatever he wanted to do. to muscle in there, to wrestle, to headlock.
And he was the bigger guy.
And he was huge. I mean, he was huge in comparison. I was going to bring that up during the segment anyway. Is Pacquiao really shouldn't be fighting at 147 anyway, because he doesn't rehydrate. After he weighs in, he may rehydrate to 146. Okay? And it showed in the ring that he was really, truly the smaller guy, and Jeff Horn was able to bully him.
Yep.
Talking about, to manhandle him
Yep.
when he came in. So immediately he took Pacquiao's game away from him, because Pacquiao likes to be forward and be the aggressor, throw his multiple punches, and he couldn't do that because Horn would lock him up, flip him, throw him, headbutt him, come in with his head. He was just a bigger guy, and there was no way that Pacquiao was going to be able to tire him. There was no way that Pacquiao was going to be able to get into his game. So Pacquiao had to fight this entire game off course, away from his game plan. So, but he did a good job of it, and unfortunately, the outcome of this fight, Steve, was just.
Well, I'm going to disagree.
It was disgusting.
Okay. You and I have been friends for 40 years, and one of the things that you told me, being the master trainer that you are, you told me, like I said, some 40 years ago, you used to tell me, you said, hey, you know what, when you have a guy in there that has had a long, illustrious career, it might not even be illustrious, but he's had a long career, you can literally get old in the ring overnight. And I saw that yesterday with Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao, we used to call him the Energizer Bunny. This guy was out throwing punches from angles from everywhere. He did not have that. Yeah. And when Jeff Horn saw that he couldn't get away from him, then like you said, he was like grab, hold, bully, and the referee allowed it all. Another thing, man, I just cracked on the 3 judges, that were allowed by both camps, but the referee sucked.
The referee was terrible.
The referee sucked.
The referee was terrible. Every time he'd get a break, he'd go to the corner and do that tape. Give Horn the break. Yeah. Give Horn the break. Yeah. It was ugly as far as the officiating was on both sides. Referee, officials, the judges, everything. It was almost like they knew what they were going to do. Okay, I mean they knew, and Jeff, by staying in the game, being able to do what he did, and being allowed to do what he was doing in the ring. Allowed them to come out with the outcome that they came out with. There's no shame in the game. I mean, clearly, Pacquiao won that fight. I mean, clearly. But for one of the judges to come out 117 to 111.
What fight was that judge watching?
It's
as you said before. You stop right there. As you said before, he had that card made out before the fight even started. He could have just turned that in. As soon as the fight started, he could have turned it in and been done with it, But but once again, the rant of Teddy Atlas that one thing Teddy Atlas is consistent about is that boxing is corrupt. He hammers that nail into the table all the time.
Yeah, he does.
Well, Teddy, what are you going to do about it? You continue. You've been saying it for many years. Boxing's corrupt, but you're tooting your own horn because we all know he wants to be the czar of boxing, which is not going to happen. Yeah, it's not going to happen. So once again, back to the fight. I saw that Manny Pacquiao got literally old in the ring overnight, and what we will talk about in our next segment is I see some of this repercussions coming up here August 26th with Floyd Mayweather and Conor McGregor. But the fight itself last night, you said the fight was good. I thought the fight was entertaining for one reason, is because the referee allowed Horn to bully Pacquiao. We're not used to seeing that. Pacquiao had obviously lost his step. He wasn't sharp. He missed a lot of punches. The CompuBox stats are always a mystery to me. I still didn't see Jeff Horn being outpunched 2-1 in the fight. I did not see that. I saw Manny Pacquiao, what I thought landed the cleaner punches of the two. But as far as aggression, I think there's no question that Horn was the aggressor. So when you take those into consideration, of course there's a little in me where I'm saying, uh-oh, I see something funny here going on. And when you see something funny going on, we already know what can possibly happen.
The thing about it is I'm not going to go as far as saying Pacquiao. I disagree with you saying Pacquiao turned old. Pacquiao was taken out of his game. The Horn was too big. Horn probably. My guess is that Horn in that ring was weighing anywhere from 165.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, he was huge. If he weighed in at 147 and he had trouble weighing in, he had difficulty making the weight. Yep. Okay, so immediately he's going to add 10 pounds. just by drinking water and rehydrating. So
so
immediately he's going to go to 157. So by the time overnight comes and he eats and all that good stuff, he was in the 60s easily.
So once
easily.
again, who do you blame for this? Is this Bob Arum?
Well, no. What I'm saying is
No. I'm asking you. If that's the case, we know he's that much bigger. Who do you put the blame on?
You don't blame anyone except Pacquiao. Pacquiao shouldn't be fighting at 47.
So then what?
He shouldn't be fighting at 47.
Bob Arum.
Well, yeah, I mean,
he's still trying to use him as his cash cow.
But the bottom line is, they gave him an easy opponent, providing that the weights were the same. I mean, because if you put Jeff Horn in there with anyone that rehydrates to 160, Jeff Horn's in trouble. He's not going to be able. He's not going to be able to push him around the ring and headlock him. He's going to get knocked. Okay, so we know that. But here he had a little guy in front of him that actually rehydrated to 146, 147 if he was lucky. Because Pacquiao don't even make the 147 weight. He's always under.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just
there's no problem.
He needs to stay at 140, where that doesn't happen. And Pacquiao is just the type of guy where he's going to fight whoever Arum puts in front of him. And it was a bad decision on their part when you come to that. They know the game. They know how and Jeff Horn, you can clearly see it in the ring. He was just the size differential was just
huge.
enormous. I mean,
huge.
So you don't have anyone to blame. As far as being accurate, the better punches, the more punches. Obviously, Pacquiao won the fight. I mean, he won the fight. I don't think anyone is disputing that. Everyone's arguing on even on social media, just all around. Everyone's just they're appalled. They don't understand what these judges could have been doing, and but Steve, we both know there's no shame in this game. There never has been, down to the club fights where you got these little small-time promoters trying to promote their fighters, where things happen just like this favoritism. The A side always wins regardless if he's still standing up, to national TV like what we saw last night. The format doesn't change. I mean,
let me end our segment in this, and then you can finish. I'm going to tell you people that follow boxing on a regular basis as we do. This in no way affects boxing on the whole in the grand scheme of things. Of course, it makes a topic for us to have on the show to talk about, but just like you said, it has gone on in boxing. It'll go on forever as long as you have a human element and the scoring is done. One of the most comical things I heard last night was when one of the people at ESPN asked about the possibility of having scores posted after each round, which is something we've been advocates of forever.
And they tried that before.
And Stephen A. Smith said no, because that will be influence the people at ringside, the judges at ringside. What?
Yeah.
If they're influenced, by whether it's up on the...
Men don't like Stephen A. Smith. Okay?
I can't stand him. There's no question about that.
We're going to have to have a whole segment just on you, Stephen A. Smith.
No, come to Denver. Come to Denver. He won't bully me. I guarantee you that. I'm sick of him, man.
He don't even know you, man.
Of course he
doesn't.
doesn't.
Even care about you,
know
man.
about anybody. He doesn't care about anybody. He's got his little thing going in New York. Keep it there.
But anyway, back to the boxing. Boxing's not going to change, okay? These guys that say, okay, that's another black guy in boxing. Well, there's probably 100 black guys in boxing, if not 1,000 or 2,000 or 1,000,000. If you go back, it's not going to change. Boxing is boxing. It's not going to die.
Nope.
People love the combat, and people watch boxing because they watch boxing. They watch the combat in the ring. At the end of the fight, whoever wins is almost insignificant to the fans, because they like what's going on in the ring, and they're going to tune in regardless. 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 100 years from now, when we're all gone, they'll still be watching boxing.
And that's a good point you made, because this, as far as ESPN goes, last night what happened in Brisbane, Australia, might be the best thing that ever happened for ESPN, just taking on this new angle with covering boxing, as they say, free boxing. Might be the best thing that happened for them.
So anyway, but let's move on to our next segment. We're going to come back and we're going to talk about this upcoming fight between Adrian Broner and Mikey Garcia, which is an intriguing boxing a match. Adrian Broner's got his back to the wall, where he has to do something because his out of the ring living has been a detriment to him and his boxing, so he's got to do something. So we're going to come back and talk about that. But meanwhile, all you Pacquiao fans, just keep your head up high. Pacquiao's going to still be there. He's still going to fight.
He's done.
I just hope he, I just hope he goes back down to 140 because he can forget about talking that nonsense about a rematch against Floyd. You know, he can't fight bigger people anymore. He just can't.
He's done.
All right, Steve. Come back and watch us on the next segment where we'll talk about this next upcoming fight.
Mikey Garcia and Adrian Broner.
And
as usual, radio, we end each segment here at Inside Boxing's Throwdown.
Till then,
keep them in.